we'll get started here. And I'd like to introduce myself. So my name's Emmanuel Hernandez. I work for Reunite at the Tech. And then April Frost. She helps out a lot. She's the CTE coordinator. So some rules, announcements. We do have a textbooks resource page. You guys can find all our past meetings there. We do also have tech bit support. So if you guys ever need help as well, we can do that too. It's kind of separate from the tech system. And then we will be recording this session, and you'll be uploading it to the direct link, right, April? Cool. Mute your mics. If you have any questions, go ahead and chat them, or don't be afraid to unmute yourself on this session. We're a small group, so as I said, we're CTE, so me and April, Amanda, Cleo are CTE oriented. One of the techs. It's the end of the day, so I'll try to go by quick. So don't worry. It's going to be a short session, I promise. So Google Hangout or Google Meet used to be called Hangouts. I don't know if you guys noticed lately, since they started the pandemic, they've been slowly introducing new features, changing their icons. They're adding, more computer oriented for classrooms and stuff. So more of the let's go digital kind of deal. So, and they've been adding a couple items to different Google suites or Google Workplace that were essentially free, and now they're gonna charge for some of these items. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna share my screen, and then I'm gonna put in the chat Google Hangouts or Google Meets that we can play around with. I'm gonna do some breakout rooms, just show you the new features that are coming out with Google Meet. Give me a second here. So here is Google Meet, and then I'll copy this information over in our chat here with our Hangouts. If you do want to just join our sessions here on Hangouts, just go ahead and mute your mic when you first enter, because then you have an echo. And if you want to show your camera on Google Meets, you can go ahead and take your camera off Zoom, and then we'll play around with some breakout rooms here. Where's the chat? Oh, right here. And if one of you guys can join, so I can show how breakout rooms. Cool. And then fun fact, I did check Zoom for recording, like you said, April. And you can actually record breakout sessions in each room if somebody in that room is allocated to record that session on their computer. Yeah, so if you it's like so when you do a breakout room, you can, sorry, I'm like off topic now, but we're kind of like going back and forth, and you could record Zoom sessions on breakout rooms if you assign each individual person that responsibility to hit the record button on that session. That's something we looked at this morning with Google Meet. So when you do enter a Google Meet session, you do see the same thing almost. It's sorry, this our bar over here. So it's a regular Meet. You can raise your hand. You can turn caption control, but you won't be able to see it right now because I'm not talking. My mic is off on Google Meets. You can present as well with your entire screen. You gotta click on there and then share. You can also do a window. So if I want to just specifically share one window, you can. More options. So you can use the whiteboard as well on a Google Meet. So share here and we can start writing. Profile, access, okay. We can all start sticky notes. I think Amanda did go over a Jamboard session. And it's on our TechBits links there. All in that one. You can do backgrounds as well. You can change the layout of each of the tiles. So you can do automatically. You can tile it, spotlight, sidebar. You can choose how many ever people you want to be on the you want to see at a time. So so you can go higher and see everybody or just see 6 people. All right. So we'll show you the breakout sessions for today as well. So as you can see, we have 5 people in the meeting right now. You can mute everybody at the same time. This is the host controls. You can add people through here. So you say you forgot somebody. And sometimes you can type it up and I'll show up. And then host controls. So you can let everybody share their screen. You can let everybody send chat messages, or you can turn that off. As a teacher, I would, if you trust your kids, you can put them on there. And then to get to Google breakout rooms or Google Meets breakout rooms, you would go to the triangle, square, and circle. So the activity, I think they call it. And then breakout rooms are here, and you would need to click set up breakout rooms, and you can go up to 100 rooms. Say you have a bunch of people doing training, you can do up to 100 rooms, and I think it's 250 people, up to 250 people in between all those 100 rooms. So you say, I want 3 rooms. You can rename the rooms. So say we're doing one for region 9. Cap 10, if I could spell. And then let's say early head start is in here. And then you can just drag and drop. So say I don't want April at the region 9 one, I want her to go to early head start. You can just grab and get them in there. And then she can, if you X, it'll go back up to the top. So on the main room, drag and drop, and you're good. Or you can shuffle them and then automatically choose the rooms for you. You can exit out. So if you made too many rooms, you can just exit them out. You can clear it. And then you can set a timer here. So each breakout room end after say 2 minutes. Shuffle them around. Open the rooms. Oh. I think you get a prompt, right? Saying, would you like to join a breakout session?
Yes.
Yeah. And then as the host, you can join each room and pop in and just say, hey, and then you can join to the other one. Oh yes, and then as someone asks for help, it shows you, and you can actually jump in that room where they're asking for help. So I'll jump back in, and as you saw, so April, if you could raise your hand again. So region 9 asked for help. So it's telling you the room that it's asking for help and requested by who, and you can just go back and join room. It's all closed room. And I'll tell you breakout rooms are going to end in 28, 20. So it gives you 30 seconds to, and if you choose to just go ahead and close out right away, you can just close the rooms out and everybody will go back to the main call. That's one of the new features that they have. Another feature
That's
is
really cool.
Yeah, I really like that. I forgot about that set where when you raise your hand, you don't know what room you're in, it automatically tells you, and then you can check it out on the side of the what do you call over here on the side.
On like a console panel.
Yes, yes. Sorry,
Excuse me, I don't
Yeah.
mean to interrupt.
No, go
I
ahead.
raised my hand. I've used the Google Meets, but I do not have, you showed almost 6 different things when you look at it, where you had the number of people, the chat box, and the breakout rooms. I don't have where I can control volume or the mics.
I think this is a premium feature, so I think this is if I believe it's a new addition they're doing through the teacher for the teacher.
So the district is that one the district would have to pay for?
Yes, yes. So it's additional features that the district would have to pay for per user or per teacher. I believe the premium feature is $5 a month, but you can only get it yearly, so it's $48 a year, I believe, or $60 a year. There's there's like 3 levels, and each level has different premium features as well. So I think on the top level where you can do this, you can also integrate Google Classroom, I believe, with a certain programs later this year, where it integrates your grades, attendance, I believe, and some other stuff.
Okay, thank you.
If you give me a second, I could get that going.
Well, if it has to be paid, I know my district's not going to pay for it. So,
Okay.
but thank you.
Oh, that's not, maybe we can reach out to the district. Which district are you with? STM Fox?
Hang on, I'm trying to unmute. Gadsden?
Gadsden. Okay. Yeah, we had somebody on earlier from Gadsden as well. Okay. So
I think we worked with a reseller. It was either M&J Technologies or Riverside Technologies, and they actually got the the licenses. This is a new feature from Google that where you don't have to go with Google itself. You can actually look at different options and different resellers. So maybe that's another option. We can get you in contact with one of our resellers that we work with to get all these features. And I think they're doing a preview test. So I think if you contact Google, they'll let you use this features for, I want to say 60 to 120 days. I'm not 100% positive, but I think they'll get you a free trial, in other words.
So yes, somebody said we do use Google Meet, but I don't think we have the upgraded version where you can get all of that, what you're showing.
Yeah,
You all-
this is all new, and it's all paid versions of Google Meet, enhanced versions. I know one of the premium versions is that you can record on Google. So as you can see here, Google Meets, you can hit the record meeting. And I know when Google
We can record.
okay. So I'm not sure if that was a paid version or not, but on this one, you know, you can do breakout rooms. You can do polls, and then the questions and answers, which is pretty nifty feature as well. As so if you ask a question, you know, like, hello, you can hide that, or you can mark it as answered. You can delete the question, and up here you can also like all unanswered questions, what has been answered already by somebody, what's hidden, and then you can also arrange your questions as older, newer, and the most popular. So people vote like, hey, I like this question. Like, can you answer this question? You know?
So that's interesting. I do have those, the breakout rooms, the polls. I just don't have like the all mute button or add
Oh.
people.
Is it maybe because you're not the host?
It's my classroom. It's what
Huh.
link they set up for me.
That's interesting.
Hmm.
So maybe that's it. I need to talk to someone about how they set it up.
Yeah. I would.
Okay.
Well, this one's an admin account, so maybe that has to do with it. I'll end here.
Okay, thank you. I do appreciate it.
You're welcome. That's one of our admin accounts from Capitan High School, so I borrowed that for a little bit. Any more questions? I wanna.
Emmanuel, I had asked a question about sharing the mouse on Google Meet like you can on Zoom. Is there a way to do that?
I do not think you can. No, I don't think you can do it on Google Meets yet.
Okay.
You can share the screen, but not share the mouse, you know.
Donna, what do you share the mouse with your students for an
With the
exercise?
Well, yeah, like if I'm doing a test and I need them to point to something.
Ooh.
And so like on Zoom, I can give them control of the mouse. I did a search on something for Google Meet and it looks like you can do an extension, but the way I read it, you give them control of the computer.
Yeah.
And I don't want to give them that much control. You know, I just want them to be able to use the mouse so they can point to something and I can see what they're pointing at.
Would it be cheating if you used Pear Deck or an interactive slide with them to do something like that? Like a click and drag? Because the interactive slide, you can actually project what you've created on a shared screen, right? You know, and they'll have access to that slide and then they can just click and drag an arrow to whatever they need to point at. That could be an option for
I
your
don't know,
meets
because I wasn't
districts.
sure about doing that. Because the test authors have made some of the tests available for
Oh,
remote
I see.
assessment, and so I have to show their book.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I can manipulate that or make it.
If you could get that into the Pear Deck software with how they have that formatted, it should be able to interact with what they have, but we'd have to look at it. But that's a really, I mean, gosh, the work that you do in the districts with our students is amazing. And I just want to thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Everybody that works with kids is amazing. Let me tell you. I did not know it was that hard. I just got hired on by Region 9 not too long ago. So this is my second year starting, and it's amazing. Thank you, everybody that teaches and helps our kids in every district.
Well, thank you to those of us that help us.
And I
And
think,
that we can go to help.
yeah, anytime, you guys, anytime. But yeah, like I said, I was
So
gonna go ahead.
I'm sorry, Emmanuel. So Bernice, I believe, made a comment. She said, oh, might have to do with the type of account we have. I've been able to mute students, but not other teachers. So I guess it depends on how IT configures our accounts. Yeah, I would definitely follow up with them.
Yeah, because I know we were able to have record, but I think they were gonna start charging. So I had to go into our IT. I'm one of the admins at Region 9 as well, and I was able to take recording off as well. So that's a feature we don't have at Region 9 either, to record a Google Meet session.
Mhm. And Pamela Mora says patience, lots of patience. Haha.
Yeah.
And Linda Sanchez says, thank you. I will look into having our school pay for an upgrade of our Google Suite. So everybody's learning a lot today, Emmanuel. We want to
You
thank you.
guys do need any contact information from where we bought our information, all our Google accounts. I will put my email here, and I can get you in contact with anybody from there. And I want to get you guys out early. I know it's hump day. Is it? Is it? Any other questions you guys might have? No.
We are going to revisit meets. So for those of you that are looking to your districts to kind of upgrade, maybe you get an upgrade and you start working with Google Meets. We are going to be doing a sandbox session with Emmanuel. Let me check on the date so I don't mess you guys up really quickly. But a sandbox session is basically a 1-hour session that we have scheduled for Wednesday, April the 21st. So I will share a link in our chat box where we can register, and that is more of a hands-on where you've started working with it and you really need to get into nitty-gritty, or maybe you need to work with other educators to talk about ideas. This is where you would have the chance to play together. And I believe, Emmanuel, STM Fox has another question.
Go ahead.
Maybe not. Maybe her hand was raised and we didn't take it down. I don't know. I just wanted to make sure. Just see her hands raised.
Oh. No, yeah. And as always, you guys can always check the Region 9 website. We always have new tech bits, sandbox. Fred is doing an awesome autocrat. What do you call? I'm blanking out here. It's a certificate generator. And we also, I'm looking into it. It's not really just a certificate generator. You can also use it for like a Google Doc. Say you're sending out 100 emails to some, or 100 different emails to somebody, but you're just changing the name, like first name, last name. You can also kind of use it for that specific thing where it sends them an email saying, dear, and then first name, last name from a list of your Google Sheets. And you can just send it out like that, and it replaces certain things that you ask it to replace with a name and a last name, first name, last name, and a date if you choose to. So other cool ideas from Google. So
Well, and that autocrat is what we've learned through TechBits, and that's what we use a Google form, which I just plugged in the link so you can provide your feedback for today's presentation. Please fill it out. Once you fill it out, you'll receive a certificate of attendance. So that is what program we're using is a Google extension called Autocrat, and Fred Romero is going to be talking about that for our next Google TechBits presentation on the 21st as well. So be sure to look for the MailChimp for that, because if you have students you can build up a student's portfolio, you can build up your staff's portfolios. Everything is really simple and easy, and combines what you're already using with a Google form and then automatically generates that certificate. So and certificates of attendance virtually nowadays are really, really relevant. So they're kind of handy if you can save time creating those.
I would recommend going. I promise. It's gonna be fun. And we'll do a sandbox and you guys can learn more with us.
Yes, awesome. So we have the forms in there. Oh, thank you, Ms. Fox. And we have for you to fill out to receive your certificate. And then I also included a link to our MailChimp advertisement for the sandbox registration. Okay. And so they're kind of two different things going on. One is a presentation, which is kind of what we're doing today. Usually they're an hour. Today you're lucky hump day. We get out early. And the sandbox session is more hands-on, where you really get to work individually, either with Emmanuel or with me or with Amanda. So just depending on what your question is, maybe it's a classroom question and how do I implement this technology in our classroom? Or maybe it's a real tech question. So that's where we would probably send you off with Emmanuel in a breakout room. So just keep that in mind, the difference between presentation, regular TechBit presentation, and our follow-up sandbox meetings. So I think we're done for the day, Emmanuel, unless we have any other questions. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and stop recording.
Yeah. Thank you.